This episode starts off with alcoholism and Joker gets a really bad hangover. As a result of this, we level up to Kemi's confidant. I also level up
knowledge.
I also level up Ryuji's confidant, which gives us some useless ability. The resident nonce PE teacher then confesses to being a nonce PE teacher, and we get the rest of the day off school. We also meet Sojiro's side hoe. We go to the weapons shop and we sell a medal for 30,000 fucking yen. We decide to spend the money on a meal, so now it's... We have a meal and now we get to choose a name for our Phantom Thief organisation. And of course I go with the most appropriate choice. The next day, average Persona fan finds out that we're the Phantom Thieves, and I start his confidant because he's a fucking stupid idiot. I meet back with hot goth emo mummy, and I also finally do what my parents tell me to and get a fucking job. The school council president finds where we're hanging out after school, and yeah, we have to find somewhere else to hang out, so cue the next dungeon. As you saw, this is basically Mementos, and all it is like a dungeon that's optional, but you should basically complete it before you finish the game, so this is our introduction to it, and this is how it went. Morgana transforms into a fucking bus, and then was startled as the next guy. Next up is a fight against Shadow Nakanohara, I believe it's pronounced. I have no fucking clue, but basically he likes to use that move Sledgehammer, which is very fucking deadly, so debuffs, buffs, and just damage, and we should be good. Here he kills Arm because she has a status effect, and she's fucked and dead for the rest of the fight. But from there on out, he's pretty easy, so yeah, nothing to worry about. Morgana learns Lucky Punch, which actually makes him useful for once, and it's one of my favourite skills in the game, so I'm very fucking happy. On the way back up, we meet this weird kid who likes flowers, so we give him flowers and he gives us stuff, basically. After getting out, I level up Reddit 100 Chungus Imposter to level 2. I wasn't paying attention here, and like a motherfucking dumbass, I get one shot. What? I wouldn't spare you guys the boring details, but I forgot to save the game and had to do everything, and I mean everything, all over again, so I just skipped to the next Mementos fight, and this is it against this bloke, so here we go. Everything seems to be going well until he hits a Lucky Punch on Arn, and that ends the fight. Oh fucking hell. What? He does the same thing next fight, but luckily he doesn't kill Joker. Morgana shows us why I wanted him to learn Lucky Punch, because that. And because Morgana the goat has counter, he reflects physical attacks 10% of the time, and I got so fucking lucky that that shot reflected, otherwise I could have lost the entire fight. We get introduced to school student counsellor Maruki, and something seems a little sus about him. And now he has a confidant, whoa! I level up Maruki to level 2, and this gives Joker the move Detox X, which is basically allows to negate all ailments on him, which is fucking overpowered. Arn thinks she's getting stalked, so we have to try and spring the guy somehow. And the stalker turns out to be this motherfucker. The stalker, whose name is Yusuke, invites us to an art exhibition, and something seems a little off with his instructor Madarame. I now get the perfect opportunity to abuse Morgana, and of course I fucking grasp it by the bollocks.
James knows the definition of a roll, like... I hope.
We go to Yusuke's house, and we find out that his instructor and guardian Madarame has a palace, so now we have our next target, Madarame. We find out that Madarame is exploiting his pupils for his own personal gain, so now we have enough dirt on him to steal his heart. Get this, Yusuke wants to paint on nude. I'm going through Madarami's palace and I won't bore you with the boring bits, so here's the important bits. I also managed to recruit a McCoy and a Hua Po. I also fuse an Onmaraku after I reach a safe room because he has a curse skill which becomes very useful for a few annoying shadows in the dungeon. It's now time for the fight I've been dreading that isn't the boss fight, Shikioji. Now the reason this guy's so deadly is because he resists physical attacks, but we should be good as long as we're not stupid. The fight basically gets ended when Ryuji gets one of his special attacks that downs the enemy and we're just using all out attack and we're good. Morgana proves why he's the worst character in Persona history and proceeds to simp for a golden vase. So now we have to rescue every one of the Phantom Thieves, for fuck's sake. In the end we managed to rescue the simp and the rest of the team, so we're all good for a while. We managed to collect the first will seed. Because of plot points we reach a roadblock in the palace and we have to go back to the real world to fix it. We decide collectively that On has to be jailbait for Yusuke so we can get access to his room, but she does gain a bit of weight somehow, but On then decides to pull a Kamoshida and kidnap Yusuke. Now we have a mini-boss fight against a Nue, but it's only me and Ryuji, so I have to be as careful as I can, so yeah. We get more proof that Madarami is a bad guy, but I fully don't understand it, so yeah, you know he's a bad guy. Yusuke, On and Simp Garner somehow land in the metaverse, so now we have to escape with Yusuke. Yusuke has his anime moment, and awakens to his persona. Yusuke asks the one question that's on everyone's minds, why the fuck is a cat talking? And then he joins us as a new member of the Phantom Thieves. Now we have the security guard as a mini-boss, and he isn't that much trouble as the minions are weak to ice and the big motherfucker is shit. Ryuji learns a skill Rampage, which is very useful. Unfortunately here, I have the biggest bro moment of the century and fuck everything up. Fuck off, game. So I had to do some stuff again, and I'm not going to spare you the boring details, but I just did everything again, and then there's this painting puzzle, but there's another painting puzzle coming up after, which literally makes me want to do things that I can't describe for legal reasons. This is the painting puzzle, and it took not too long because I memorised everything, so it took like 5 minutes tops. And for the second time this run, I died to a Nue.
Oh no. Fuck, really?
No way!
Jesus.
Fuck off.
No!
I managed to claim the second will seed. Next puzzle is a spot the odd one out puzzle, and to be honest, I'm kind of sick of this palace already. We managed to locate the treasure, but first there's a few things I need to do before I start the boss fight. As always, for the third will seed we have a mini-boss, but this time it's against Arahabaki. So we have to be careful because Arahabaki does reflect physical attacks, so just gotta be careful. Unfortunately, I have what the kids refer to as a cringe moment and die. Second attempt goes much better after I learn he's weak to wind, so this fight is basically a joke. I then collect the final will seed, and I'm done for all the will seeds for this palace now. I then fuse Nekomamata for some reason. I also fuse a Jack Frost so I can start the twins social link. This is very important because it allows me to fuse some really overpowered personas later on in the game. I then do some last minute prep for the boss fight. Now to spare you guys the pain, I've skipped to this first attempt because it's absolutely ass. I mean, I just don't do any right prep and I die straight away because of it, so I try to reevaluate my options after the fight.
Think of personas whenever you're saying persona. I need money.
So the first stage of my like 15-step plan is to fuse Shikioji because of his physical resistance. So I'm not high enough level to fuse Shikioji, so now I've got to do some grinding in mementos. While grinding in mementos, something happens to me that barely happens in any playthroughs. Basically, when a party member gets down, there's a really slim chance that they can take your party member as a hostage. Now this actually happens to me now, but it's not a big deal, it's just really rare and I thought I'd share it. After grinding for about 5 hours, I realised I am high enough level to fuse Shikioji, and I've just wasted 5 hours of my time levelling up for the most pointless thing ever. But now I have Shikioji, so that's a dub, isn't it? I do some preparation by creating some lockpicks and spotlights, as this will definitely help me in the fight. So without further ado, let's get on to the boss fight. For the first stage of the boss fight, you've got these 4 pieces of Madarame's face that you have to destroy. But the gimmick is you have to destroy them all at once, so they're all like dead together. So it's a pain in the fucking arse. First attempt doesn't go well. Get in here. I just died. So the plan here is to use a spotlight on Joker, which basically means that the enemies target him the most. But for some reason it auto switches onto Ryuji, which means he has the spotlight, which basically means they fucking attack him, and it really pisses me off. So I have to use another spotlight on Joker. The plan is to use multi-targeting physical attacks, even though the mouth does absorb physical attacks. This is basically because it's easier just to target the eyes and nose, because they are the most annoying and important parts of the face. After the eyes and nose goes down, we just use elemental attacks on the mouth. One less Agi from arm seals the deal, and now we're on to Madarame's second phase. So the gimmick here is that he summons minions, but the minions are all weak to elemental damage. This is why I gave Joker the breeze ring, because no Morgana means no wind attacks, and also less simping, so it's basically a win. But the plan is to baton pass until we reach Yusuke, where Yusuke can use a Vicious Strike and basically deal a fuck ton of damage. After a few turns of this, he spawns fakes that are asleep. This is basically where the fight becomes a joke, because you don't have to concentrate on them. And you're basically done here as long as you can keep your cool and stay focused.
Wake up, Mr. West! Wake up, Mr. West! Mr. West! Mr. West!
The palace starts falling apart and Yusuke steals the painting off Madarame after bitch slapping him to the ground. We escape from the palace and we decide to make Yusuke a permanent member of the Phantom Thieves. We get more pointless character development with Simp Garner, and because of this we level up his confidence again. Reddit 100 Chungus Imposter decides to introduce us to the best character in the game, Becky. Plot twist, Becky is actually our teacher, Kawamumi, dressed up as a maid because she needs more money. Whoa. Because of my saviour complex, I decide to save Kawamumi from Chuno, and because of this she gives us her phone number. I also spend some time with Chad Doctor. I also spend some time with Ryuji and level up his confidence to level 7. This gives us the ability insta-kill, which basically allows us to instantly kill any shadow lower than our level, which is fucking overpowered. I also spent some time with Simp Material and Reddit 100 Chungus Imposter Sussy Backer. I forgot to mention that I started Yoshida's Confidant, and his Confidant is crucial to lots of stuff going forward. Also, I start Kasumi's Confidant, but this is story related, so I kind of have to do it anyway. And this is going to mark the end of the video, so if you did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next video. Woo!